It is beyond an honor to be here, and Doc, welcome back to you in a second. But thank you for this invitation. Thank you to all of the supporters and parents and scholars and faculty members and leadership. Thank you for giving us a reason to smile, because in many ways we've watched splattered on national television some really hard images, some really disturbing coverage, some vitriolic language, and just images that are not us. You all are giving us a real reason to smile from ear to ear, because you are us. When we think about the reason that we love our city so much, it's you. It's everything you stand for. It's the work you've put in. It's how diligent you have been, how hard you have worked, the commitment that you've shown for giving us this moment. We're thankful to the leadership, Dr. Kirkland. I mean, literally we were talking over at dinner, and literally to this day, taking out a group of students over to University of Maryland Eastern Shore and doing exactly what essentially Paul White did for me, and saying, hey, here are some students who you need to know about. And watching the smile on their faces as they receive acceptance letters. The leaders, and I know Raj, I'm not sure if Eric is here, but you all believed in a concept and an idea years ago. A concept that we can come up with a school, a public boarding school, that can provide new opportunities and new pathways for students. And I can just imagine some of the conversations and laughter that people had when you first approached them about this idea. And we stand here now as beneficiaries of your vision. Thank you for your leadership and everything. We all just hope for a chance to understand that the world is bigger than what's just directly in front of us. We all just hope for a chance to dream and know that those dreams will be supported. To aspire and know that those aspirations will actually be encouraged. And that's what SEED provides to every single student who's here. People are, I'm looking around, I wasn't trying to be rude, but I was so taken by the building that I wasn't really paying attention to what was in front of me. And so these 5 students came up to me and they're just like, we'll take you on a tour. So they gave me this beautiful self-guided tour, and it's great going on a tour with students, because they show you all the hidden passageways are and stuff. And we walk into a room that had a listing of the Board of Trustees. And I was explaining earlier that as I was walking through, I stopped in my tracks. And I pointed to a picture of Paul White. And I said, do you all know who this man is? And I started explaining my history with Paul White. And then so one of them was holding a book, and I read them a section of the book that talked about Paul White. And they were like, you've got to read that tonight. So if it's okay, does someone have a copy of the other Wes Moore here that I can borrow right quick, please? Thank you.
Right, exactly. I've got it right here.
So I just want to read a very small part to it, and there's a reason why, because I think what I'm saying here relates directly back to our graduates tonight, our SUNY graduates tonight. And it says, it's actually talking about this exact moment that Paul White's talking about. And it says, a week later, I sat across the table from Paul White, the director of admissions at Johns Hopkins. I was expecting a stodgy older gentleman who'd offer me canned economies about Hopkins and then stiffen and ask for the check when he found out the details of my standardized test scores. What I found was a black man with a warm disposition and a booming voice, who bristled with energy and was constantly in motion, his hands swooping like birds in flight to accentuate his points. I spent much of the lunch telling him my story and he spent the remaining time selling me on Hopkins. By the end of our meal, I realized that Hopkins represented much more than a chance to attend a great school with a phenomenal reputation. It was also a chance to go home. My relationship with my mother had changed significantly. I had spent so much of my life running from her, trying to show her that I didn't need her as much as she thought. She spent much of the same period being an unrelenting disciplinarian. But as I got older, and as she realized her days of hardcore parenting were coming to an end, she became more than a mother. She became a friend. The beauty of Seed and the beauty of this experience is that it's hard. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody can succeed in the same fashion with the same strength that you have when you walk across that graduation stage in a few weeks. The beauty of it, though, is also to make sure that that success means somebody to other people besides yourself. Success means nothing if you're sprinting so fast that you don't keep a hand behind you. That's success. And that's how you'll be remembered, and that's how you'll be measured. We are so proud of you and everything that you're doing. We're so excited for what we're going to see from you in the future. And we're so thankful that you had faith in an idea, and now that you're free to roam. God bless you guys. Thank you.